Hello everybody, thanks for coming to watch my video, the speed paint of two characters that I love from the Graceling series. I don't know if anyone's read that series, but I grew up reading it. I loved it. This is from Fire, the two characters in Fire and Brigan. And just fair warning, when you get into this, there's a lot of problems. This was a very problematic painting for me, so you'll see a lot of changes throughout the entire process, which probably if I had actually used more references and less just from my brain cells, then I probably would have gone a lot faster than the 7 hours that it took to make this painting. But yeah, I will probably come in and pop around, say a few things about the art while we're going. But for the most part, I hope you just enjoy the process. And yeah, thanks for watching. So for the life of me, I could not figure out her face for so long. And there's a part in this speed paint that I basically just didn't include the footage because I just turned off all screen recording and sat there for like 3 hours trying. Maybe not that long. Maybe it was like an hour, but just trying to figure out her face for so long. Having to repaint so many things because that's the life of an artist when you don't use references. One thing I also was kind of bummed about with this painting was I had loved the sketch and the line art that I had at the very beginning. And sometimes you just have paintings like that where it just goes askew and you don't really know what you're doing. So you kind of lose the essence of what you started with. So I did go back in and include the sketch at the kind of near the end. You'll see the line art back again on her face, which helped me to readjust and kind of try again. I don't know. But yeah, this whole process was a bit of a just trial and error because I had an idea. I tried to go with it without really building up any references or just went straight for it. One thing also with him, I have always imagined him with a beard. I don't know why. It just had always been in my brain. And then I looked up the official descriptions of these characters because it's been a while since I've read the book. And there's no mention of a beard. So that doesn't stay. As well as I forgot to include a lot of her scars. I remembered her fingers, which changed halfway through this painting. But yeah, if you're an avid reader of the Graceling series and you're like, where are her scars? I forgot, and then I was too lazy to add them back in. So just deal with it. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back in later. But yeah, for the most part, I did stick with it because I felt like I need to just finish it. I didn't want it to be a leave on red kind of situation. So I did finish the painting, which I'm happy about. I might not be very happy with the results, but I'm happy I finished it. And I guess that's all that really matters. Maybe. I don't know. You guys can tell me in the comments. Also, I feel like, and don't tell anyone else this, but I feel like he looks better with the beard. I don't know. Maybe I should have kept it. Who knows? Anyways, as you can tell, this painting was a headache for me. I did want to mention something about the illustration process a little bit because I sometimes watch speed paints, but I also like to know what the artist's thought processes were throughout the whole illustration. So I thought I would add in kind of what I was thinking throughout this, just the entire process. At the moment with doing line art, I'm kind of in this part of my art journey where I'm really redoing a lot of my the system that I have already, because I just want to improve, and I feel like my older system of having a rough sketch and then doing a line art on top of that didn't really fulfill how I wanted a piece to come out. I wanted there to be a lot of fluidity, a lot of movement, and I loved that about all of my sketches and all of my really rough line arts. In this period of my art journey, I'm kind of trying to figure out a new way to blend in that movement from the sketch, but also keep it clean, because I don't want it to just be like I didn't even finish it. So what I'm trying to do here with the line art is instead of doing a new layer and doing a line art on top of it, I'm trying to just clean up my sketch to keep the movement, the kind of roughness that you see in the sketch, but also have it just a little bit more clean. And I'm also adding in a bit of value just on this layer. So you can see within her skin tones and a little bit of her hair, as well as on his side as well. I'm adding in this lighter tone to kind of give a bit more value within the line art itself, because I've been trying to practice this kind of idea of the line art also gives a lot of value within the piece. And then when I go into the painting stage, I can just add in those values from the line art after doing a multiply layer with different colors, the flat colors. And so here, I'm just cleaning up the sketch, trying to add in a bit more details. I do understand when I get to the paint section, the painting side of the illustration, sometimes a lot of these lines are going to go away. So with that understanding, I'm not too orthodox with how I am putting down the lines. So a lot of them are still messy, which at this point I'm really okay with, because I know I'm going to clean it up later in the painting stage. I have a lot more confidence in my line work than I do in my painting as of right now in my painting journey, and my artist journey, I guess. So I felt really good about the sketch. I felt really good about the line art. And then I started filling in all the flat colors to give myself a basis to paint on. And what I usually do is I just outline the entire character in their skin tone, so that the baseline, the foundation, is just their skin tone all over. And this is where it starts to become a bit more foreign, and where a lot of my practice needs to come in more, where I'm just doing the flat colors are fine. But when I start getting into the painting process, I start to lose that flat color, the local color, a lot. And I understand that local colors aren't going to be the same because of lighting and shadows and everything. So it's just something I'm still practicing on how to balance, not completely losing the values I have already, and the hues I already have. And with this illustration in particular, I really went back and forth a lot with different shadings and different types of lighting systems, especially with the background as well. When you change the background that you've been working with and you change the color, the hue, the contrast, or anything, it's going to affect the subjects of your piece, because as you can see right now, there's a lot of lights. There's nothing really pushing them to the foreground until I get to a darker background. This darker background doesn't stay, but it affects how I paint and it affects the colors that I choose. So later when I do change the background, it affects all the colors again. So, I mean, that's something I'm trying to learn, is to process it beforehand, like think 3 steps ahead instead of just going for what feels good in the moment. And that's where reference and planning before an illustration really comes in. Super important, that I did not do with this this piece, which would have made it faster and also a lot more efficient. I would have been a lot more efficient with my painting if I had planned out more of a light source, more of a idea of what I really wanted it to be. And that's where thumbnailing and referencing comes in, and just is what you need. You have to. Anybody out there learning how to paint and draw, reference thumbnails. Please do that. Practice that as much as you can. That's going to be the best thing you do for your career. So right around here, I felt like I was losing who I was looking at. I did not like how her face was turning out. I thought that her eyes were all off. I could not figure out how to make it look like the endearing side of her that I had in the sketch. And so I really finagled with this. Like I said before, I went over her face so many times and changed it a lot. But and the ending result is better than it is at this moment. This moment I was like ready to just give up. But I was like, I'm recording this for a video, so I got to finish it. Which means that I had a great motivation with you guys. Thank you. Bless you. But also, I pulled out so many hairs. But it's that process of going from a sketch to a painting. They're different skills, and so my skill set in painting, it still needs work. So I needed to figure out how to convey her emotions without it being a blank stare. And that was a little bit of a moment for me. Yeah, well, you guys shall see how it turns out in just a little bit.
I had spent it in good company, and all of the harm I have ever done, alas, it was to none but me, and all I've done for want or wit to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whate'er befalls. Then gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all. For all the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away, and all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they wish me one more day to stay. But since it fell into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whate'er befalls. Then gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all. But since it fell into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and softly call, Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass and drink a health whate'er befalls. Then gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. Good night and joy be to you all.
If you can hear my laptop in the background, it is loving recording everything as well as rendering this video. So it's just letting me know that it's having a great time. Anyways, as we're closing off the video, I just wanted to make a few more notes. I really wanted to make her hair like fire. I mean, that's in the book. Her hair is basically its own character. It's such a symbol of who she is. It's a huge plot point within the story of her beauty, of how attractive she is to those around her. I mean, from her monster qualities. I mean, it's just a very important part of her character. And I really wanted to bring that liveliness out like fire. I think that I could have added in a bit more to give her more of this glowing effect, but I think it's pretty much okay with how I ended it. I did go back in and add some more outlines to the edges of the hair to kind of give more of a line art feel, because I lost that part of the sketch within the painting stage. And you can see that I'm messing around a lot with the background. I was not happy with a lot of what was going on because I hadn't come up with an idea beforehand how I wanted them to be staged, as well as how the background was supposed to look. So the ending result is actually different than what I had been messing around with, but I am pretty happy with the end because it's very simple and it focuses more on the two characters, as well as I didn't really have to think too hard about having more of a background. But next time I'm gonna really try to flesh out something more concrete and more within a world stage. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you stuck all the way to the end, good for you. You made it through. And I hope to have another video up within a few weeks or something like that. Thanks. Bye.